Most runners don't realize this, but actually running a faster half marathon doesn't have a lot to do with running more miles. In fact, most common beginners make a few common mistakes that hold them back. Today I'm going to break down everything you need to know in order to improve your half marathon, and this is going to apply even if you're a beginner. Whether this is your first race or you're a seasoned runner that's just trying to prove a personal best, these strategies will help you out. Hey guys, welcome back to my video, and if you're new here, welcome to my corner of the internet. My name is Claudia. I'm a 27-year-old just trying to balance out working out, working a 9 to 5, and just enjoy my life. I'm currently training for a half marathon, and it has completely become my entire personality. Like I just mentioned, I'm training for my 4th half marathon, but I've actually gone through 8 training cycles just because I love training almost as much as I love race day. I've actually just gone out by myself or with my friends and run, 13.1 miles just for funsies. I don't know, I just like having a goal and the accomplishments that comes when you achieve that goal. All of that to say that I have experimented with a few strategies, learned from my mistakes, and found exactly what works to run faster and what doesn't. So in this video, I'll cover the 5 things that you need to do in order to improve your half marathon time. We're going to be covering how to structure your training, the most effective speed workouts, how to pace your race correctly, the strength training moves that will keep you stronger and injury-free, as well as the nutrition and hydration strategies that you might want to follow. Without any delay, let's just get into it. Number 1, build a strong base. Before we start talking about how to run faster, how to improve our time, we really need to make sure we're building a strong foundation, because if you don't have a solid base, you won't be able to maintain the speed over 13 miles. And I see so many runners do these mistakes. They just jump into speed training even though their legs are not ready for it yet. Your first priority should be to gradually increase your weekly mileage. If you're currently running like 10 to 15 miles per week, you definitely want to start increasing that to like 25, 30 miles per week before race day. And the keyword here is gradually. A good rule of thumb is to increase your mileage by 10%, which means you're going to be increasing your weekly mileage by 10% every week in order to avoid injuries. Most of your runs, and I'm talking like 60 to 70% of your runs, should be done at an easy pace. And when I say easy, I mean easy. You should be able to hold a conversation. You should not be huffing and puffing. You should not be going all out, no sprinting, none of that. This is a mistake that a lot of runners do, and they end up pushing their body too far, too long, too fast. They try to push their pace on every single run, thinking that that's going to make them faster, but in reality, that's just going to lead up to injuries and burnout. Easy runs actually help build aerobic endurance, which is the foundation to running faster. And then there's the long run. This might actually be the most important run of your entire week. It will build up aerobic endurance as well as mental toughness. Ideally, your longest run before a half marathon race will be anywhere between 10 to 12 miles. Usually my longest run is about 2 hours, so however many miles I can fit into that, that will be my longest run. And I make sure to do a long run every single week. I don't have to be adding more time or adding more miles every week. Sometimes I dial it back, sometimes I add miles. It just kind of depends on how I'm feeling that week and how close I am to the half marathon. If you're training for speed and trying to improve on your race time, then you want to make your long run a progression run. And this just means that you're going to be going out and running for a certain amount of time, a certain amount of miles, and towards the last 10 minutes, you're gonna increase your pace to whatever pace you want to have on race day. And this is also your legs and your mind get used to the pace even when you're tired. Section number 2, speed training. Now that we have built a strong base, it's time to incorporate speed workouts. And this might sound contrary to everything that I've said, but in order to run faster, you have to train faster. I like to include 1, maybe 2 workouts a week, and I found that that just gives results. One of the best type of workouts that you can do in order to improve your pace is interval training. The workout that I usually do is I will go to the track and I will walk around as like a warm-up for like 10 minutes, then I'll start jogging for 5 minutes, and then I'll go into this interval training. So I will go all out for 20 seconds, and then I'll have like a 45-second period of recovery in which I either slow jog or walk, depending on how I'm feeling at the moment. These short, fast intervals actually help leg turnover, and they also teach your body it also teaches your body how to handle running at a faster pace. Another workout that is incredibly effective, it's tempo runs. A tempo run is just a sustained effort at a slightly uncomfortable pace. Something you can maintain for perhaps, let's say, an hour. If you've ever heard of lactate threshold, this is the type of workout that helps increase it. This means you're going to be able to hold a faster pace for longer. A good starting point for a tempo run is maybe like 3 to 4 miles, where you run at a slightly slower pace than you will race a 10K. Now, if you don't have any type of measurements on what your 5K, your 10K paces would be, You can find a calculator online, or you can just kind of gauge it based on how you're feeling. So it's slightly faster, but not out of breath. Another simple speed workout that I love doing is strides. In this one, you're gonna be holding your speed for about like 20 to 30 second bursts, and you will usually do this at the end of an easy run. It helps to improve your running form, build leg turnover, and get your body used to running fast without exhausting yourself. Section number 3, strength training. Strength training is one of the most overlooked aspects of half marathon training, and I've actually been guilty of this. But to be honest, once I started implementing strength training into my routine, I saw such a huge difference in my speed and my endurance. It's just very simple. If you have strong muscles, you will be able to run more efficiently and with better form, which ultimately helps you run faster with less effort. Don't take it to the extreme. We're not talking about going to the gym and lifting weights every single day of the week. I usually try to focus on my legs and my core, since these are the muscles that are the most used while running. For a lower body day, you might want to focus on lunges, squats, deadlifts. They're going to help build the muscles in your calves, hamstrings, and quads. In addition to that, I have also found that a strong core is also essential to maintaining a good running form. So you might want to include planks, Russian twists, and dead bugs into your routine. Number 4, pacing strategy. Pacing is everything in a half marathon. If you go out too fast, you're gonna burn out, you're gonna hit a wall before you get to mile 10. But you also don't want to start too slow because, we're trying to work on a PR here. I would say that the key here is to run even splits or negative splits. And this just means that you're gonna be running the second half of your race at the same pace or slightly faster than the first half. One of the best things that you can do in order to master pacing is to actually go out and do what we call goal pace runs. And this just means that perhaps once a week, once every 2 weeks, you're gonna go out and do a few miles. We're talking like 3, maybe 4 miles at your target pace for that race. So if you're thinking that you want to be running your half marathon at a 9-minute per pace, then you're gonna go out, run 4-5 miles at a 9-minute per pace. So the whole idea is that you're gonna be practicing how to run at that pace, and your body's gonna get used to it. Now, on race day, my recommendation is to break down your race into pieces. You have your first 5K, your last 5K, and then the middle miles. So for the first 5K, you want to start relaxed, you want to start at a comfortable pace. You just want to get an idea of how you're feeling that day. The middle miles is when you're gonna get into your goal pace. You're gonna start pushing yourself, and you're just gonna hold in there. Like, there's not a lot to do, you just gotta push through. And then your last 5K, that's where you're gonna leave everything on the table. If you got a lot of energy on the gas, might as well just sprint it out. I will be honest, every time that I see the finish line, I get so excited to just be done, because by that point, I'm so exhausted that I just want to sprint through it. At that point, just keep pushing and finish strong. Number 5, nutrition and hydration. These two can make or break your race day, but also just any run during your training. If you're gonna go out on a long run during your training, I would say to always carb load. I like having a piece of toast with peanut butter and bananas on it. These are simple carbs that are gonna get broken down by my body really quickly. But now, if we're talking about a race day, the whole idea of like eating a massive bowl of spaghetti the night before, we're not doing that. That doesn't do anything but make you feel gross and icky the morning of the race. So what we're gonna do is 3-4 days out, that whole week leading up to your half, you're gonna be actually eating carbs. So that's when you wanna be carb loading. And I'm talking kind of like sporadically adding a little more carbs all over your meal. So usually for breakfast, I will have a little more oatmeal than I usually have. For dinners, I will include more rice. For lunch, I will perhaps have like a pasta salad instead of just like a green leaf salad. Your body will be absorbing all of those carbs, absorbing all of that sugar, all of that energy, and storing it for race day. Now, moving on to race day, you want to make sure that you're getting 30 to 60 grams of carbohydrates every hour. This can be through energy gels, shoes, sports drinks, candy, whatever you want to have. I like doing some kind of nutrition every like 45 minutes during my run. I've just found that that's just what works for my body. Usually my blood sugar kind of like drops from time to time, so I just want to make sure that I always have sugars, carbohydrates, salts, whatever you need. And now, I'm not really gonna spend a lot of time talking about hydration because I feel like we all know this. Just drink water, drink electrolytes. Those are necessary before, after your runs, and just like the carb loading, the week leading up to your race, you want to make sure you're drinking enough waters, enough electrolytes, that you're hydrating your body so that on race day, you can actually perform. Running a faster half marathon takes a combination of endurance, speed workouts, strength training, proper nutrition and hydration, as well as smart pacing. If you focus on these 5 areas, you will not only run faster, but also feel confident and feel strong on race day. If you found this video helpful, if you learned anything from this video, Make sure to like and subscribe so you can get more running tips. I also post work week and weekend videos, kind of like days in my life where I show how I'm balancing working a 9 to 5, having a social life with half marathon training. So if that sounds interesting, make sure you check them out. Otherwise, let me know in the comments what's your half marathon goal time. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Okay, bye.